Does Jerome Powell know what color shirt he put on this morning? I'm uncertain. I'm uncertain if he knows what color shirt he put on in the morning. But anyway, we're supposed to believe that he knows what's going to happen with inflation in the short term. The thing is, inflation to me is never like a short-term thing, but for some reason, it's like a monthly changing thing to the Fed. Because just, what was it, 2-3 months ago, it was 2 point some odd percent. Now they've jumped it up to over 3%. In regards to the consumer price index, that jumped way over 5%, right? So we're supposed to believe their outlook on multi-year things, but they changed their outlook within months. Interesting. Not only that, but Jerome Powell seems to be very bullish on the U.S. economy, talking about, this is just a transitory. We've heard that word so many times. It's like, must be the perfect word they came up with. Like, we're just going to say transitory a million times. They all will be fine with it. He seems to be very bullish on the economy. Well, if you're so bullish on the economy, Jerome Powell, why are you waiting until 2023 to maybe raise interest rates extremely marginal? An extreme marginal raise to interest rates maybe in 2023. If you're so bullish, why don't you just do it now? Why don't you just bump it up to 2% right now? Don't look at what somebody says or hear what somebody says and make your, thesis around that. Make your thesis around what somebody is doing right now. What are they actually doing right now? Right now, the interest rates are still at 0. Right now, they are saying the inflation rate is changing month by month by month, not year by year by year. Month by month by month is this changing. And their number is remarkably low, in my personal opinion. I think the inflation rate is a lot higher based on the price of everything. Gas is more expensive, lumber more expensive, groceries are more expensive, everything is getting more expensive. But then there's some other points that I wanted to make about this too. If the economy was doing so well, and if the dollar really deserved to skyrocket, the dollar went up over $1 on the price index. Based on his news of him possibly raising the interest rates in 2-3 years. Like, let's really take apart what the news was. The news was that they are going to start raising interest rates by 2023, I believe is what they said. And they're not saying they're going to raise it a full percentage, 2%, 3%. No, they're going to raise it marginally, a fraction of a percent. It's like, how is that going to solve anything? How is that going to make the dollar stronger right now in this current market right now to get the dollar to skyrocket right now? That makes no sense. The market is acting irrational. And if you look past the smoke and mirrors, excuse me, it's a perfect opportunity to be buying silver. Silver plummeted around 70 cents based off this news. Gold went down almost $50 at one point. That was a major buying opportunity, and a lot of my clients were buying big because of that pullback. So what you have to do in this climate, it seems like the best possible thing is look through the smoke and mirrors, make your own thesis, and look past what the traditional information sources are. Look past all of that and make your own thesis based on their current actions right now. If Jerome Powell truly believed that the U.S. economy was strong, he would go ahead and raise it now. He wouldn't wait and say, well, we're a little worried, we're going to wait until 2023. No, if you're this bullish on the economy and you said the economy's doing this well and it's just a transitory thing and inflation's going to go down. Well, if it's a transitory thing, I think it was transitory back at 2 point whatever percent, right? If it was transitory then, it's transitory now. Well, how come it went up a whole percentage? And then what? The next one, they're going to, it's up at 5% now. So basically, you're telling us that our ice cubes are melting at over 3% every single year, and that is the possible thing can happen here. Well, they're saying it's not. They're saying that this actually is happening. Their projection is that it actually went up a percentage within a few months from their last meeting. So if we're supposed to take this into a consistent thing, which they say it's transitory, but let's say it is consistent. Now, 2 months from now, it goes up another percent. 2 months from now, it goes up another percent. 2 months from now, another percent, because that's what just happened. Then we're going to be sitting at an inflation rate well over 5-6%, when realistically it's well over that already, but that's just my personal opinion. if the dollar was as strong, I pulled out my phone because I wanted to see the price of gold and silver right now. Gold is currently, it's back open right now. I'm shooting this video at night, so it's back open. The gold price is currently at 1819.50 cents. It's back up $6.60, so it's starting to rebound. But silver is down at 27.18 after being over 28, or just right around 28. So there's a major buying opportunity. Platinum took a hit as well. Platinum's looking real ripe for I like platinum here. I like platinum quite a bit here. I think you guys know how much I like platinum. It's currently at 1124 right now on platinum. And then the dollar index is sitting at 91.34 when it's been dancing with that 90 level for a very long time. Now, from what I got from this news, when I look past the smoke and mirrors of it all, I ask myself, I go, okay, if you're this bullish on the economy, and you think, and the market says the dollar is strengthening, then why don't the banks pay us a good interest rate? Shouldn't they want more of our capital as citizens? Shouldn't they want us to sell our stocks and park some money in their bank, right? Because then they're going to be able to loan that money out and do whatever they want with it. But why wouldn't they want to be accumulating dollars and then making that extra interest off of our dollars and doing whatever they want with our dollars? Why don't they just sit on a large dollar amount at these banks? Because what I see is if they're sitting on a large dollar amount, they're looking at the dollar like it's a hot potato. All the banks that are accumulating dollars are worried about inflation and worried about what it can do to the stock market, and so that they can get that money to use as a buying opportunity. Nobody looks at the dollar like it's gold, like it used to be. The dollar used to be the gold standard. The dollar used to be back to gold and silver. So people looked at their savings accounts like it was gold and silver, because it was. We trusted them to be backing our money to gold and silver. Ever since that changed, the dollar has been an instrument of playing hot potato. You know, that's the truth. All of these big banks, all of these hedge funds look at their cash position as a hot potato position. Where is the next opportunity? Where is the next undervalued asset? Oh, silver dropped 75 cents. Perfect. Throw some of our hot potato dollars over at silver right now. Oh, okay, this is down. Perfect. Let's throw some of the hot potatoes over at that. That's how these big banks are looking. But the truth that I see is nobody wants to be sitting on dollars. Every wealthy individual I know doesn't want to be sitting on dollars other than playing hot potato with them. If you want to have a savings, you want to park it in safe haven assets like silver, like gold, like platinum, like real estate. Real estate prices are skyrocketing, at least in my area. I don't know about your area, but seems that there's actually even demand. Like when somebody prices something, there's so many potential buyers for it that they actually cause a buying frenzy, and the actual price goes up higher than expected. It's almost like a tactic now of a real estate agent to get the person to price it lower, knowing that there's going to be a bidding war and it's going to be basically an auction for this house or for this commercial property. But no, the economy is perfect. The dollar's strong. We should all be saving our money in dollars because the dollar index seems to be going up right now. It's like a funneling mechanism to keep money in the stock market. But what happens if people decide to dump their stock positions? What happens if they decide to park their money in things like Bitcoin, like silver, like gold, like real estate? That's what I get curious about, and I wonder. My thesis is that there will be a double whammy, that there is going to be a double whammy of dilution where the stock market, people finally realize that they're trading overvalued collectibles. It's pretty much a whole market of overvalued collectibles, in my opinion. All the stocks, I haven't found one stock where I look at the price to earnings ratio and I go, oh yeah, this makes sense. They're going to make those figures happen. I just don't see it happening. And I'm waiting for a day where Jerome Powell and Janet Yellen, they have a meeting, and they don't sound like a penny stock trying to, pump their company. You ever listen in on one of these earnings calls, one of the earnings reports, and you can hear that they're kind of they're fumbling around and they're trying to figure out some way for investors not to sell their stock. It's like, no, the economy's booming, things are good, and we're got the interest rates are at zero, but in 2023 we have this projection that's going to change things for the company, and it's like that's literally what's happening right now. I remember like back in the early days of Tesla, when you listened to an earnings call with Elon Musk and his CFO and the CTO and everything, you would hear them and they'd be like, yeah, well, the Model 3 is going to be in production by this time, 3 years from now. This is going to, it's like, that's exactly how they're talking. I want to see what they're doing right now. And right now, every single few months, they raise the price a bit on this inflation rate. This is supposed to be an annual inflation rate, Powell. It's supposed to be an annual thing. How come it changes month over month? You don't even know which shirt you put on this morning. You don't know what the inflation rate is going to be. Why not? If the economy, I'll keep saying the same thing over and over again, but I just want it to really drive home these points. This is a major opportunity to get out of dollars and park it in safe haven assets. If I was in the stock market, which I'm not, and props to all of the AMC gorillas out there. You know, I happen to get along more with the silver squirrels and the silverback gorillas of the Reddit community, but props to you in the AMC space. But at the end of the day, what you're doing, in a sense, is proving that this is just a glorified casino of collectibles in the stock market. And the only reason that it's pumped to these levels is because there isn't other options on where to park these diluted dollars. Money should be a trust system. Why do we use this money? Why do we store this money? Why do we work for this money? Why do we put this money in our savings accounts? Because we're supposed to believe it's going to hold its value and be a good idea to hold this. When did that narrative change from savings accounts to hot potato account? That's what it's changed from. You have an ice cube that is inevitably going to melt into nothing, and you can turn it into a hot potato to keep your ice cube frozen. You can move it around and try to do stuff with it to try to keep the ice cube frozen. If it was me that was running some sort of monetary policies, I would say that the commercial banks that accept savings from the citizens have to pay a interest rate to compensate for the current inflation rate. So if Powell says it's 3.2%, which we all know, in my personal opinion, disclaimer, it's much higher than that. But let's say it is what he says, it's 3.2%. Well, the commercial banks should have to pay you 3.2% for every single dollar annually that they hold of yours. Excuse me. It makes me want to throw up that they don't do it already. See, it's just natural. It's like the greed of these big banks. Why don't they do that? I don't know. And I'm not talking about savings accounts. I'm talking about checking accounts. I'm talking about right now, whatever dollar you give to a bank, they should have to pay you the same interest rate of the inflation rate that they created, that they helped create. The reason the dollars become diluted, the reason things are costing so much more money is because of the excessive money printing at the Fed and then the excessive loan generations from the commercial banks. That's the truth. So why do they not compensate for the problems that they created? That's the question that I have. But the truth is, every single one of these meetings that I hear with Jerome Powell, it really feels like a penny stock earnings report. Where the projections of 2023, we don't have to answer about the 2023 until 2-3 years, right? We don't have to talk about that. Yeah, let's just keep pushing the can down the road. We'll be all good, all right? That's what we'll talk about. Yeah, just say 2023. No problem. Don't say anything about right now. Right now, yeah, just say the inflation rate is, went up 1%. We all know it's more than that, but just say 1%. It makes you anyway. I shoot these videos. I don't do any editing, but this kind of thing bothers me because it really feels like Jerome Powell is like trying to sell you a used car or something, and you open up the hood, and before you open the hood, though, he's like, this car, it really runs well. I tell you, it really runs well. It's been running like a champ. It's like, but it says 200,000 miles on it. Do you mind if I pop the hood, Jerome? It's like, no, this car's been running real well. Telling you, it'll get you all the way to 2023. By 2023, you might have to change a couple things, but this car is going to run real well. Maybe 2023, you got to change a couple things on the hood. And then you go and you pop the hood, and it's just all duct taped and just complete mayhem under the hood. And he's... Anyway, enough of the analogies. Enough of it. It's true. But yeah, I mean, I've been posting a lot about this on the Instagram and posting a lot about it on Twitter and talking about what the future of money should be and how money is a trust system and there isn't the trust there right now. And that's why I'm so bullish on silver. That is why I'm so bullish on Bitcoin. That is why I'm bullish on any way to park your money outside of the dollar into something that is actually going to keep your ice cube frozen, or better yet, the way it was supposed to be, reward you for having a savings. Reward you for actually putting together capital that you don't have to spend every single month. The majority of Americans are living month by month by month. And if we don't know how to protect our savings accounts, it is literally designed to keep it that way. The more and more that they print, the more the dollar becomes diluted. The inflation rate is only going to go up. And what is this going to solve? Raising it a less than 1%, of just a fraction of 1%, raising the interest rates by 2023, 2 years down the line, if they even do it then. It's not going to solve anything. It's not going to change the deficit's almost at 30 trillion. It's not going to change it. So it just is mind-boggling to me what's going on right now. And to think that it's going to slow down in any way is just ridiculous. But what I think could happen with the stock market here, I think if you see a situation where if you're in stocks, you have two very scary situations, really. If the stock market takes this information of the dollar strengthening based on them raising the interest rates projected years and years out, which is just, it's so irrational and so ridiculous. But say that happens and the stock market drops, you have that risk. But say that the dollar drops, the dollar index doesn't go up. Usually it's like a pump and dump type situation. So you got a pump right now with a dollar index, but really that dollar should be losing its value right now. Really, there's a lack of trust going on with the dollar. And if say the dollar starts actually showing where it should be going and it actually goes to say 85, 80, 75, then you'd have a situation where regardless of where your stock is valued in dollars, right? So if your stock's valued in dollars, you take a loss whether it stays flat or whether it goes down, and then it's a double loss, and you got a double whammy on your hands. But I don't want to be in anything that's valued in dollars. And some people might say, oh, well, silver's valued in dollars or Bitcoin's valued in dollars. Or no, it's its own individual thing that I can trade for whatever currency is where I want it to go or whatever I want to buy with that. And as soon as more and more people change their trust onto a different network or onto a different asset, I think we'll see some major, major price changes going on. I will talk about that more in another video on what I see as the future of money. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do click the subscribe button down below. If you want to follow me on Instagram or on Twitter, just my same name, Rob Soltan, on both. Would love to have you there as well. I've been posting a lot of different content on those pages and just kind of my thoughts right off the top of my head. But yeah, that's kind of what I took from this. I took it as a major opportunity to be buying the things that went down. Silver went down. I bought a lot of silver on this drop. I know a lot of clients that bought a lot of silver on this drop. So I think that the best thing that you can do is look past the smoke and mirrors, develop your own thesis, and find out what are they actually doing right now. Not what they're projecting for 2023, not what they changed on in a couple months, but what are they doing right now? And what are those actions? If you look at Michael Saylor, for example. Michael Saylor, if you're for or against Bitcoin, you can give him props because he really is putting his money where his mouth is. You look at what he's doing right now. When he sees an opportunity, he's buying more and more Bitcoin. He keeps buying and buying Bitcoin. That's the truth. So what is his action? He's buying Bitcoin. He's not like Elon Musk flip-flopping. Now Elon Musk is, I guess he's back for Bitcoin now. I wouldn't be surprised to see that Elon Musk and Tesla bought a bunch of Bitcoin. You know, I wouldn't be surprised that all this stuff going down, they bought a bunch of Bitcoin because, you know, maybe the SEC isn't looking at Bitcoin as much as, you know, his stock meddling. But the truth is I like to follow people or listen to people who are actually doing what they are preaching. They're practicing what they're preaching. You look at Michael Saylor, he says, I believe in Bitcoin, I'm buying Bitcoin. He turns around and takes on debt to buy more Bitcoin. So it's like, okay, well, he really does do what he says he's doing. He actually really means the words that he says. When you see somebody that's going, oh, well, I believe in silver, I'm buying silver, but they don't have some silver bars here. I didn't get my 1,000 ounces. I know everybody's saying to get my 1,000 ounces out. They're heavy. Sometimes it's nicer just to put 100 ounce. That's a pretty cool kilo here, though. This is a little Swiss Bank Corporation silver kilo. But listen to people that actually are about it, you know, and the truth is Jerome Powell doesn't do what he technically believes in. Like I said, I don't think he knows what color shirt he was wearing this morning. So he changes his mind every other day, every other month, every other week. And we're supposed to believe his projections for years and years and years and years and years. Makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. But if he thinks the economy is doing so well and it's just a transitory type thing, well, go ahead and raise those interest rates right now, Jerome. Go ahead. 2%. Why? No, it's going so well. Why don't we just raise those interest rates to 4%? See what happens. It's got to make the dollar go up, right? The dollar index will just skyrocket off those news, right? No, the stock market would plummet. The dollar would likely plummet. And I think that the true information would come out. And so what we can do right now is, because the market is acting irrational, that's where the opportunity lies. So what are you going to do? Throw it in a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on this situation, whether you agree or disagree with the things I've said. If you could smash that like button, hit that like button and turn it blue right now. Just take it out on the like button. Anyway, it really does help when you guys do that, when you click the like button. I like to ask at the end of the video so it's not annoying in the beginning of the video, but I would really appreciate it if you could help this video reach out to more people in the YouTube algorithm, because I really want to get the real information, or at least what I personally think is the real information, out there. And if you agree, by hitting that like button, it really does help promote the channel and bring it to more people. Thanks again for being here. Signing out, and I will see you at the next video.